Um, I don't know. This month has been a lot of reflecting on everything and my life in general, because I've been thinking a lot about where I went wrong, where I went right. Um, I feel like my life right now is in a tipping point in which I feel ready enough to do anything. And I haven't felt that way in a very long time, or if ever. I remember when I was like 18 years old, I hated everything. I hated to do anything. I was extremely depressed. I never felt ready. I always felt uncomfortable in my own skin. I just never felt like I belonged anywhere, and it was the worst feeling in the world. And then I moved out, and I had these great experiences. I, at that time, had no skills, and I barely knew how to film, barely knew how to take photos, and really didn't know how to make music. But through the help of some amazing people and just a lot of hard work, I got better. I had this one content creator that let me film his life and let me film and photo everything that he was doing, and it was the greatest experience ever, because every single day I was able to film and photo stuff, and I was able to learn, and that was so key and important in my life at that point. And it made me so happy because I was taking adventures every single night with my friends, then going and filming with content creators and the days, and everything was just amazing. And then at night I would go home and I'd produce when I wasn't doing stuff with my friends, and I would make music, and eventually got to a point where I was doing such crazy things, at least for myself at the time, in comparison to my life before that, that I started uploading to YouTube, because I was like, my life is crazy and I'm creating music I love. And I remember that feeling at the first month I started uploading these monthly videos, was amazing. I felt great. All the feelings that I had before were almost gone. I still felt this longing and this need to belong, but everything else in my life was going great. And slowly but surely I learned that my music wasn't as great as I wanted it to be, and I didn't have the capabilities to make it better at that time, because I just didn't have the practice or skill. Before then, I'd never really sung. I never played instruments. I barely produced any beats or anything. Everything was just new to me, and I was figuring it out. And then after that, I stopped filming as much, because with the content creators and all that, I remember I was talking to some girl, and before this I never had a girlfriend before, and I really connected with her in a way that I didn't really ever connect with anyone else before. And it was amazing, honestly. I remember she was the only one that made me feel like I really belonged at that time. And I don't know, I remember those times very fondly, and they were just amazing. I remember that I remember one time where me and her hiked up to a mountain, and I just started crying. I just was bawling out while watching the sunset with her, because I had never felt like I belonged that much in my life. I never felt like everything was good and everything was almost perfect. Of course I still had a lot of things to learn as far as music goes, and I knew I had a ton of work ahead of me, but I never in my life before that felt like something was going right. And at that point in time I did. And of course I was really happy for a minute there, and then of course everything, people want stuff, and people, of course, should be free to go and chase those things in their life. And that happened with most people that I was hanging out with at that time, and most people that I was doing stuff with at that time. And they moved on to do different things with their lives, which is great for them. But that means that I had to just focus on my work and my creative abilities again. Instead of hanging out and having a girlfriend, I got back to just sitting in my room and making music every day, and videos and stuff like that, more professionally and on my own. And it was cool. I definitely did a lot of cool stuff, and I even traveled with a friend of mine for a while, and we just traveled basically all the eastern side of the United States. But I don't know, throughout all of that, I never felt as strong of a sense of belonging as I did in 2019, and a sense of fun, adventure, and newness. And I don't quite know how to get back to that level. All I know is I feel like I'm very distant from that time in my life, and I'm ready for a season 2 almost of that to occur. And I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to bring myself to that point again. So I'm really excited for the future, and I'm really excited for that, not only because in 2018 and 2019, when I was doing all these things, did I not have many skills to do the things I wanted to do, but now I feel like I do. Now I can sing a little bit, I can play guitar, I can produce something that I like, and I've proven that to myself. Now I just have to really, lay down and actually create stuff that I think I can release. And I think that's coming sooner than I would like to admit to myself. I don't want to put a time period on it to anyone listening, in case I need more time to do stuff, but I'm excited for the future, and hopefully you guys are too.